Hello, holistic wellness seekers. Today I bring you 7 tips for successful self-healing. This video was inspired by a recent video posted by Irene Lyon, who is an accomplished holistic practitioner and trainer focused on somatic healing, neuroregulation, and trauma healing. The 7 tips I share in this video will help you better cope with stress in your daily life, help you create a greater sense of inner safety, and help you find ways to go forward, regardless of your current circumstances. Because the only power we ever have to make desired changes is found in the present moment. Now that leads us to tip number 1, which is start right now. What that means is don't wait until later to start practice self-healing methods. Start right now in every moment of every day. Find little ways to integrate self-healing practices into your daily life, even if your life situation is not yet ideal. For example, one of the self-healing practices anyone can do anytime and anywhere is to pay attention to your own self and to your environment. Each day is a new day. When you open your eyes, notice how your body feels. Notice where you're sleeping. Notice what it feels like to take a big breath. Look around the room you are in. When you get up, notice how you move. Notice the feeling of your feet on the floor. Notice and be in the present moment, in every moment. Tip number 2 is to recognize that to heal or not to heal is a choice. It's a decision. You can choose to create a greater sense of well-being simply by stepping out of victim mode and seeking out the information, the encouragement, and the resources you need to heal yourself from the inside out. Stepping out of victim mode is a recognition that life doesn't just happen to us, but that we can choose to respond to life rather than just react to what's going on around us. While it is true that when we are children, we have less control over what happens to us, as we become adults, we become more consciously aware of ourselves as sovereign beings. We can choose to change our thoughts and perceptions about ourselves and about others. Where our attention goes, energy flows. Focusing our attention on what we are creating in the current moment will empower us to make incremental improvements. Tip number 3 is to believe in yourself. Somewhere inside you is the knowing that you are an infinite, eternal being. You came here into this physical reality to expand your consciousness by experiencing duality and contrast. This helps you better learn to identify what you prefer and what you don't prefer, and to explore your ability to create more of what you do want. Now, the law of attraction can be a little tricky, but just know that the universe will bring you more of whatever it is you focus your attention on. So instead of focusing on the pain of the past, when you choose to step out of the past and into the present moment, you take the power to change your circumstances. You can do this by changing your thoughts, your emotions, and your patterns. Sadly, when we're children, neurodysregulation and dysfunctional behaviors can result from experiencing neglect, exploitation, abuse, or scarcity. This can predispose us to habitually seeking out, allowing, or creating similar dysfunctional relationships or situations even when we become adults. But when we become aware of our need for healing and that knowing that we limit ourselves by old habits or self-defeating perceptions, or from not having healthy boundaries, or from not knowing what it might feel like to have healthy boundaries or be in a healthy relationship, we become aware of the need for change. Somewhere, somehow, you need to trust that inside you is the ability to heal, that you, as an infinite, eternal being, deserve to learn how to heal, to feel whole, and to become free from limiting thoughts, habits, and behaviors that prevent you from thoroughly enjoying your life. You do deserve to feel whole, and you do deserve to find a way to become a better version of yourself so that you can freely live your gifts. Tip number 4 is to do what it takes to create an inner sense of safety. Your nervous system remains on high alert. It can get stuck in the fight, flight, freeze mode with the cascade of high stress hormones unless and until your autonomic nervous system recognizes that you are safe. If you live in a high stress world, your body produces high levels of cortisol and adrenaline. These are stress hormones. Whether you're an adventurer, a high achiever, or a trauma survivor, these hormones can be stuck in the on position. This high stress survival mode can become habitual and bathe your cells in stress hormones all the time, which contributes to health meltdowns, emotional burnout, and even chronic health issues. Healing can only happen when your nervous system gets a felt sense of safety. That's right, your body needs to feel a sense of safety, which is where somatic healing practices come into play. Therapists call this a bottom-up approach to nervous system regulation, teaching the body that it is safe so that the nervous system will switch out of survival mode and into rest and restore mode. There are lots of stress relief practices that can give your body that felt sense of safety. These can be anything from tiny meditation moments, breathing exercises, emotional release practices, energy healing modalities, and more. You will know your automatic nervous system has switched into rest and restore chemistry when you feel a relief in the form of a sigh, a yawn, when you relax enough to fall asleep, when your muscles relax, when your gaze softens, or when you're able to forget yourself and simply enjoy whatever experience you are having. A normal, healthy, autonomic nervous system easily switches back and forth between these modes many times every day, depending on what's going on in your world. Start with simply noticing and extending your moments of inner calm, muscle relaxation, relaxed breathing, and a sense of safety and ease. And do more of what makes you feel happy. These incremental moments do matter, and they can be integrated into daily life. Now for tip number 5. Attend to all aspects of your well-being. A greater sense of wellness comes from living a holistic lifestyle, incorporating all the good things like sleep, fresh air, optimal nutrition, enjoyable exercise, activities, meaningful work, and nurturing relationships and connections into your daily life. It is possible to improve both your inner and your outer well-being. Tip number 6 for self-healing is to integrate incremental wellness practices into daily life. Some of these are so simple and basic that you might think they're not important, but when it comes to resetting your autonomic nervous system for healing, they are very important. Expanding your awareness of self and how you relate to the world around you is called orienting, grounding, and connecting. Be curious and appreciative of the goodness in your world. Notice your body, how it feels, your feet on the ground as it supports you, your home, your workplace, and the world around you. Appreciate the air, the birds, the sky, the sunrise. the smell and the taste of good food. There are so many ways you can integrate orienting, grounding, and connecting in your daily life. Choose a way to remind yourself to consciously practice being in this present moment, within yourself and in the world around you. You can do things like journaling, post-it notes, timers, or calendar reminders that can help you increase your awareness and your connection, and can remind your body, mind, and spirit that you are safe and you have the permission to heal. Okay, here's tip number 7. Practice self-directed compassion in your healing process. This just means to acknowledge that you are human, that your previous reactions and adaptations to the stressful experiences you have are totally normal, because your autonomic nervous system is always engaged and invested in your survival. First, it's your immediate survival, but it also cares about your long-term survival. Even though you may have a list of self-healing practices that you want to include in your daily routine, there will be times where you miss or when you don't do them for whatever reason. Just don't give up on yourself. Acknowledge you are human. Life is a learning and experimenting process, and you can give yourself compassion for being in that process. I hope these 7 tips for self-healing encourage you to believe in yourself and in your ability to heal. Try to see your current self from a higher perspective. Ask Source to bring you the insight and resources you need to create optimal well-being. And while you are in your healing process, and you always will be, just be the best self that you can be in this present moment. I believe in you. Authentic healing is possible, and it might be simpler than you might imagine. Others have found healing, and you can too, as you allow yourself the time, the space, and the resources needed to out-process old stress, learn to enjoy the present moment, and little by little create your own optimal sense of well-being. I see you. Keep going. You are amazing.